Morning everyone, I hope you're all well. Today's video is kind of a vlog, kind of not a vlog, but it's going to be all about skin. I'm going to be showing you my morning skincare routine, my evening skincare routine, and I'm also going for my annual mole checkup today, so I thought I'd bring you along. No, it's not glamorous, but no one ever shows this sort of stuff and I feel a responsibility to. Whether this is relevant for you or someone you know, I think it's good to know what is involved with this kind of thing. I usually go once a year, but when you're pregnant, your moles change. They get darker, they get bigger, which, side note, as someone who is quite insecure about my moles, that was something that terrified me about pregnancy. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought, luckily. But because of that, it's quite hard to check your moles whilst pregnant because they are changing anyway, which is a bit scary, but it's fine. And then obviously I had a small baby and time just got away from me, and it's actually been far too long since I've been for a checkup, and then obviously Corona happened and there weren't any appointments. So I very much need to go for a checkup. I go privately because of the sort of moles I have, atypical mole syndrome, where they're all different sizes and different colours and stuff. It's something I have to go and get checked. Most people can check them yourself, like keep an eye on your moles. If you're worried about one, take a photo of it. Take a photo of it every few months and you can see how it changes. If you're struggling to remember if they're on your back, get someone else to help. Taking photos is a really good way of doing it. You're looking for things like whether the edges are jaggedy, whether there's kind of darker bits or lighter bits, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's cancerous. I have lots like that. It's just stuff to look out for. Change is the most important thing to look out for. If it's always been that way, it's probably fine. But it is quite hard to tell. Randomly, every time I go to her, this is the one she looks at, which is like a tiny little beauty spot. But apparently ones on your hands and feet are quite dangerous. Sorry, I forgot to say, if you are worried, go to your GP. They can refer you if you need to be referred. So I like to go to a professional to get checked. And I've been to lots of different people over the years and they all do it differently, and I've just worked out for myself who I like. I've been to people before who use fancy machines to take photos and they don't kind of look themselves. And I've been to people who just look with their eyes and don't use any machinery. And in the end, I've realized I like someone that does a bit of both. I like someone that has the knowledge and expertise to look and know if something looks worrying, but then if they are worried, they can also like look in a little kind of magnifying thing, or they have a machine. I'm gonna go see Dr. Marto this afternoon in Harley Street, so I don't know if I can film inside, but I'll just update you on the process and what happens when I'm there. But for now, let's talk skin. I came off the pill kind of 7 to 8 months before I got pregnant. I'd been on the pill for a really long time, and I didn't realize that the pill, well, for me, it really made my skin so much better. And it's been hard to kind of tell what my real skin type is like, because I came off the pill, I got pregnant, and then I had pregnancy skin, and then I had like postpartum skin. So I think now I'm starting to realize what my actual true skin is like. And I think I'm spottier than I thought I was. I think that the pill masked that. I haven't gone back on the pill since having Gray because I do want more kids, and it took quite a while for me to get my regular period cycle back when I came off the pill, so I don't want to mess around with it. I don't want to do that again. I think I'd rather wait until I'm done having children to go back on the pill if I'm going to. So since coming off the pill, I have been quite spotty. You can't really tell right now because I'm wearing makeup, but I'm going to be showing you my morning skincare routine from earlier in the day, and I will show you my like bare skin and what it's like. But I'm definitely more spotty than I was on the pill, and I wasn't prepared for that. I haven't got the right skincare products for that. I don't really know how to look after spotty skin because I've never had it before. So I'm just kind of getting to know my new skin type and figuring out how to look after it. So let's talk about skin. Let's rewind to this morning when I was doing my morning skincare routine. I'll talk you through the products that I've been using, and I will show you my bare skin. This is where my skincare lives. No, I do not use all of this stuff. I know it's crazy and it could probably do with clearing out. This is a little printout I've made for myself. I've got my morning kind of routine and the order that things should go in case I forget, and evening. I've made a few changes since reading Caroline's book, Skincare. It's a very good book. I just feel like skincare, even if you're like in this world and you're exposed to as much as I am, it could be so overwhelming sometimes. So there were definitely a few things in the book that cleared up a few things in terms of like what order you put your products on. But I very much agree with Caroline in terms of cleansing your skin properly makes a huge difference, and investing in the serums, because they're almost like the mayonnaise in the sandwich. I think that's how she describes it. Cleansing, moisturizing, and everything that's in between is like the really important stuff. So in the morning, I just do a really kind of gentle cleanse. There's like no makeup or anything on my skin, but I have got like sweat and stuff from the night. I've never washed my face in the shower. She told me years ago not to do that because the water is too hot to go on your skin in the shower, and I do like a really hot shower, so I'll do my skincare separately. So the cleanser I'm going to use for the morning is the Kate Somerville Delicate Soothing Cleanser. I did do a job with this range. This is not part of the job. It's just a really nice, like, gentle, creamy cleanser. I find that it doesn't react with my eczema. It's very, like, inoffensive. And I just take that all over my face and down my neck. Then I've just got a flannel. I actually usually like to use a muslin cloth. I just find that they're kind of easier to use because they're thinner, but it's nice to use like a flannel or a cloth. It also gives you like a little bit of a gentle exfoliation. Also, I just find like splashing water is just a bit messy, so I just take a damp flannel or cloth and then just take that off. And obviously you don't have to like double cleanse in the morning because, like I said, there's no makeup or anything. So that just feels really nice and fresh. So let me show you my skin and how it is at the moment. This is a bit of scarring from when I got a spot recently, and I popped it probably too early, didn't do it well, and it's really left a scar, although I'm finding that retinol is actually really helping to reduce that, so I'm hoping that it goes away. I've got some kind of newer spots down here on my jawline. I can't really see, I don't think they're at like the popping stage. And just like, yeah, a few spots around here and on my chin. This is kind of the area these days that I tend to get spotty. Bit of redness around my nose, kind of dark circles, but not as bad as I like used to get them. And I've got some moles on my face, but not like loads compared to other parts of my body. Also, I definitely have hair on my face. Like, I get so much hair here, and since having a baby, I get hair under here as well. That's something I never got before having a baby. And my like upper lip actually isn't as bad as it used to be. I think because I got it lasered a while back, it's actually worked quite well, and I'm about to start a new course of laser on my face. I've also been using, where are they? I ordered these after I saw Jamie Genevieve talk about them. They're from Shiseido, and they're like face shavers. I know that sounds crazy, but you basically just like, let me get one out and show you. If I take the cover off the blade, you basically just like push down, and it is a blade, you have to be careful, but it just gets rid of a little bit of, well, I think it's meant for like peach fuzz, but I use it for like actual hair. And I think that's been working quite well. Some people do it like all over their face. I don't do that. I like having like texture. I don't want like a smooth hairless face, but just if I've got a little bit of hair there, those are quite handy. But as I said, I am gonna get laser done as well, so I'm excited for that. So the next thing after a morning cleanse is acid. I don't do this every day, especially if it's like very sunny and summery, but I do think acids work really well on the skin. And when I first heard the word acid years ago, I was like, why the hell would you put acid on your face? But they're so good for like sorting out the texture of your skin. So I've got a couple of options. This is from the Inky List, which is a new brand I'm trying. It's very like basic packaging, which makes the whole thing very affordable. Very just simple products, and I like simple skincare products. I don't want loads of highly like fragranced products on my skin. That would just make my lip eczema go crazy. So I've got a couple of options. I've got a glycolic acid toner, so that's something I would use on a cotton pad. I've actually got these cotton pads. They are bamboo and they are washable and reusable. I love using these for eye makeup remover, but I don't love using them for like a toner. I find that they soak up too much of the product, and like I want to get as much of the product on my face and not on the pad. So I do actually have a few just normal cotton rounds that I will use for my acid toner, but most of the time I'm using the reusable ones. So I've got the Inky List Glycolic Acid Toner, and this one I find just good for like a bit of an exfoliation, sorting out any texture in my skin. But I've also got beta hydroxy acid, and this is for when I'm feeling a little bit spotty. So I'm going to use this one today, and I'm just going to take a like tiny bit onto a cotton pad. It's quite like a gloopy texture. And I'm just gonna run it over like the outer parts of my face where I'm spotty. I don't really need it on my forehead. I'm just gonna take it over here. And I do find that this helps like reduce the spottiness a little bit. So the glycolic is probably something I would use in the evening. Now I'm just going to go in with a hydrating spray. I used to just use this once in my routine, but after reading Caroline's book, she is like, just keep going in with the hydrating spray. It just apparently helps the products to work better. This is the Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator. I always do this with my lips because I don't want the product to go on my lips, so I go like that, so I protect my lips. Very hydrating and lovely. It smells very calming too. Okay, next, eye. Not gonna lie, don't really use an eye cream. I really should, and sometimes I go through phases of using eye creams, but I haven't really got one on the go at the moment, and I can't really be bothered. I've got so much to get on with. Serum. My first serum, I use 2 serums in the morning. First one is usually a vitamin C. I did see recently in Anna's video that she said vitamin C is breaking her out, and it was a bit of a light bulb moment of, oh, is that why I'm so spotty? I don't know. I do like a vitamin C because it makes my skin really glowy. I don't know, like, if that's what's breaking me out though. Maybe I should have like 2 weeks where I don't use it and then I can have a look. But the vitamin C that I'm using, and I've almost finished up, is from Oskia. It's the Super C, and these are the capsules. This just protects the product. These are biodegradable. So look how few I have left. I've really been enjoying these. You just literally, it looks like this. It's a little capsule. You tear off the end, it's like a heart shape. I put it straight onto my hands, and then I just rub it into the skin, and it gives just a really lovely glow. Feels great on the skin as well. So that is my first serum, and then my second serum. So the second one I'm going to be using is a hyaluronic acid. Again, I've been trying the one from the Inky list. I think it's good. I can't really decide yet if it's, I don't think it's as good as something like the HA Intensifier from SkinCeuticals. It's just a very basic hyaluronic acid, but it kind of does what it says on the tin. Oh, my hands are really greasy from the vitamin C, but I'm not going to wash them yet because might as well keep putting the product on. This is just a very hydrating serum. Hyaluronic acid helps your skin like retain moisture. So it's a product I love to use morning and night. Anything that has hyaluronic acid in it, any foundations, I'm just like all for it. So that feels lovely. Okay, now I can like wash my hands. This is where I've added in another spritz. Obviously I don't always do all of this. Like there's definitely some mornings where I'm just like serum, moisturizer, go. Serum, moisturizer, SPF. Those are probably the minimal amount that I always do. Okay, now for a moisturizer. The one I really like for the daytime is just the Aven Skin Recovery Cream. I'm just finishing this one off. It's just the most basic moisturizer. Perfect if you have like eczema type skin. This is all I used for a couple of months when my skin was really bad, and it really, really helped. Very, very hydrating. So just rubbing that all in. And then I always finish with an SPF. And everyone always asks, Rich is always asking me, remind me again, is SPF last or is it before your moisturizer? It's always the last thing in your skincare routine. I like to use a separate one to my moisturizer because then I could use this morning or night. You wouldn't want to go to sleep in a moisturizer that has SPF in. So better to get just a plain moisturizer and then just add an SPF on top. So this is the one from Pi. Again, I've done work with them, but this isn't sponsored. I just find that some SPFs really like make my skin react badly, and this one doesn't. So important to wear SPF every day if you're leaving your house. So that is my morning skincare routine. This is just a headband from Glossier that I find is good for getting my hair out of my face. What do you think? Does my skin look kind of glowy? It will do when I pile a load of makeup on it. Whilst I'm here and whilst I'm talking about skin, do you guys ever get like bumpy, I think it's called like chicken skin. I don't know if I made that up, but like bumpy skin on the back of your arms. Sometimes I get it there. At the moment, I've got these 2 patches on my shoulders. This is just the best thing for that. It's from a brand called Ameliorate, and it's the Transformation Body Lotion. So it's a body lotion, it's fragrance free, which is great, and it's got alpha hydroxy therapy. So it really, really just does the trick. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on here. Can I do this at the same time? Not really. And it's made a massive difference. I've literally only been doing it for a couple of days. I have this from years ago. I used to use it all the time and I haven't had to for a while. But I've just been using it for a couple of days and it has made my arms so much smoother. I can't believe how well this product works. So I just wanted to give that a little shout out because it's skin related too. Okay, I'm about to leave for Harley Street where I'm going to see Dr. Marto. So if I can't film when I'm in there, probably won't. I will update you afterwards on how it went and what happened. I'm just in the waiting room, but I just realized I've got to like strip down into like my underwear. So I probably won't show you what's going on in there. Okay, I'm out. She's so great. The reason I like her over other people that I've tried, and I've tried quite a few, is that she really explains everything. She makes it not scary. She did like a little drawing for me. She tells me like the scale from benign to melanoma. Obviously, I've told you guys before, my auntie passed away from melanoma, so I do get a bit nervous about it all. She makes it really not scary. She's so thorough. She checks my entire body. She explained things. She doesn't just check me and then kind of send me on my way. She told me, you know, my ears are starting to get a little bit freckly, and when I put on my SPF in the morning, I should also put it on my ears, something I hadn't thought about. She told me that actually legs are probably the most dangerous part for women, and like today I'm wearing a dress and I haven't put sun cream on my legs. Often I forget unless it's obviously sunny, so legs is something for me to really look into. Most of mine are on my back, which makes it quite hard for me to check, and on my front, but actually I haven't got that many on my arms and my leg. I talked through some that I was worried about, and she said which ones are fine and why they're fine. She did find one on my lower back, and she showed me a photo of what it looks like through the light. So I'll show you a photo of that when I get home and I'll explain more. Okay, I'm home now so I can chat to you properly. So yeah, one of the moles, she looks at every single mole in my body. She literally looks through this light, and she interestingly said that often moles look kind of a bit dodgy when you're looking at them with your eyes, but when you look in the light they don't look quite as bad, or vice versa. So the one that she's concerned about is on the lower back right hip, and she drew out like a scale of like how worried to be, and she was like, don't panic, this isn't like a go in tomorrow and get it done, no need to panic, but she's like, I think you should get it removed in the next few weeks or months. So I'm going to have to get a mole removed, which I'm always just a bit like, I know it has to happen. Luckily this one is like really hidden. I scar so easily. I don't know why. Something in my like genetics or whatever means that I scar so badly. My C-section scar is horrendous. She actually said that I can have steroid injections to make it not as bad if I wanted one day, but worth waiting to see if I have any more first. Like if I was to get this mole on my leg removed one day, it's on my shin where there's like really thin, tight skin, I would be left with a massive, thick keloid scar on my leg, which is crazy. But obviously it's more important to get a mole removed, which is potentially quite dangerous. So the one that she's worried about, it's totally, I kind of want to show you guys. How can I show you? I'm gonna get Rich to like film it now, and I'll insert a little clip of what it looks like. And she also sent me the photo of what it looks like through the little light that she uses. And I wanted to show you guys because I think it's quite interesting. So this is what it looks like through the camera. So the reason she's worried is the abnormal shape of it. It's kind of long, and it's not like, you know, mine are all a bit of a irregular shape. But there's also kind of almost three colours going on. There's like a dark brown, there's a yellowy, and there's a pink, and that's not necessarily something you'd be able to see with your eyes, but with this kind of special light that she uses. So I will be having that removed. It's about a half-hour procedure. I'll have like local anesthetic, so injections, and then they cut it out, so it's not just like a surface thing. They like cut down into the skin, and then we'll have to use stitches, and I'll have a scar that's probably twice as big as the mole was before. I feel okay about it though. Like in the past I've come back from these appointments like really upset, but she makes me feel at ease, so that's good. So that's all of my mole chat for today. I thought whilst I'm talking skin, and before I do my evening skincare routine, I would talk to you guys a little bit about eczema. I've spoken a bit about this on my Instagram. In short, I never had eczema before. My sister gets it really badly. Psoriasis is also something my grandma, my dad and my sister have, so it's in the family, but I never had any allergies until I got like hay fever when I was in secondary school. And then I used a lipstick. I think it was like a Soap and Glory lipstick. I mean, it probably could have been anything, but it triggered this like eczema gene that is inside of me, and I got an allergic reaction, like not on the day of my wedding, but I think just afterwards. That's where it all started, and the eczema on my lips led to eczema around my eye. And I'm sure you guys remember for years my videos, I just had these like awful big kind of clown swollen lips. They looked awful, they felt so painful, they'd get swollen, and it took me years to like figure out how to look after it. And even now, like I'm sure they'll come back at some point, but I'm going through like a good point with them. Some things that worked well for me, like going fragrance free with my skincare. I'm not like 100% fragrance free, but a lot of the skincare I use has no fragrance in it. Not everything, but most stuff. the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream, the fragrance-free version. I found when they were swollen, that would really calm them down. And also the Lancenin, can't remember how you say it. I will link this product down below. It's actually a nipple cream. I used it when I was breastfeeding, but that is what Dr. Emma Wedgeworth, who I had like a Zoom call with her about my eczema during lockdown, and she suggested just using that because it's something really plain. And it's funny because all the doctors I've seen over the years have said to use Vaseline. I think it's just because there's nothing in it, so it's literally just gonna, like, you know, keep them protected when you're outside from all the elements, but it's not gonna irritate them. Let's go into the bathroom and I'll show you some of the products I've used over the years, some of the kind of heavier, stronger products that doctors have prescribed for me.
For my eye, I actually found that hydrocortisone worked really well. I always go for an ointment over a cream. I just think it works so much better for eczema in my experience.
The tricky thing is that steroid creams aren't meant to be used like on your face, on your lips or eyes or any sensitive areas. And I did try a steroid cream for a while, and it does kind of temporarily help, but in the long term it just thins out the skin and it's not a great thing to be putting on long term. I just really struggled to find anyone that had a solution to that, because it was like, steroid is the answer, but you can't use it on your face. And if you've got eczema on your face, that's really tricky. Obviously I'm not a doctor. Speak to your doctor. You have to get a prescription anyway, but what has really helped me eventually is Tacrolimus 0.1% ointment. I'm going to show you so you guys can screenshot if you're interested.
I asked Dr. Emma Wedgeworth and she said it was okay for me to mention this. It wouldn't be irresponsible or anything, but yeah, if you want to ask your doctor about this, I'm sure people have different opinions, but this is more about rebuilding the skin around my lips that's been so damaged.
And the minute I feel like I'm getting a flare up, I put some of that on and it has massively helped me. But it's not something that's just like cured, it's just an ongoing thing. So I'll check in a little bit later on and show you guys my evening skincare routine. Okay, evening skincare routine. I always try to do this early if I can, so like before Gray's bath time if it's one of my work days, or as soon as I've put her to bed if it's Rich's work day. Have I got hairy armpits? I don't know. The earlier you do it, I guess it's less of like a drag, it feels like less of a chore, it's more of a treat, and all the products that you're putting on your skin like have longer on your skin to get to work. I'm just starting by washing my hands just to make sure that they are properly clean before I touch my face. So the first thing I do is take one of my bamboo cotton rounds, but they're not called cotton rounds because they're not made from cotton, bamboo things, and take some Bioderma, and then I just use this to remove my eye makeup. My cleanser that I use would remove my eye makeup, but I don't really like rubbing all the mascara and smearing it all over my face, and I just prefer doing my eye makeup separately. I always have. So just taking off, I don't have to take it all off though because the cleanser will get the rest. I kind of do my eyebrows as well. Okay, once that's done, I put this in my little net bag that I've got over here. So the first cleanser I will be using is the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. I love this, it's fragrance free, it does not make my skin react at all. It is like a solid balm. I use this little scooper, take a little bit out, and then once you start like warming up in your hands and working it into the skin, it turns into kind of like an oil, and it just removes all of your makeup. And it's okay if I get a little bit of this on my lips. I know it won't like make my lips react. So I take a little bit over my eyes, but not loads. And then down my neck as well. I'm definitely gonna start putting SPF on my ears now. So I'm using the same muslin that I used this morning, and then after I've used it, I will put this one in the wash. Just squeezing out the excess. Taking all of this makeup off. Very, very satisfying. I'm gonna go in with a second cleanse, partly to just get rid of any makeup that I've missed on that first cleanse, but also a second cleanse just to make sure I'm actually cleansing my skin, because that first cleanse is almost just to get rid of makeup. I'm going to use the Kate Somerville Delicate Soothing Cleanser again from this morning. I have got a couple of others I like. I've got a Ren kind of jelly cleanser, and also the Ole Henriksen cleanser, and the Kiehl's one. I've got a few here that I like for like a second cleanse or a morning cleanse, but this was really nice at the moment. I just find with a muslin instead of a flannel, I can really get in like around my nose. I find it easier to like move around with my fingers. I can't believe I have to get them all removed. She said that I for like a few weeks I shouldn't do any exercise. I was like, that's easy. But I shouldn't like bend down and lift heavy things, especially because of where it is. I might split the stitches. I have a toddler. Luckily Rich is still working from home, so hopefully he can help me. Okay, my skin is going a little bit red, but I think that's because I'm using a flannel, so it's a bit more abrasive than what I usually use. There was definitely some excess makeup that came off there, so I'm gonna let that dry before I put it in the wash. Now I'm gonna just pat my face. Actually, let me just get the towel. I'm gonna pat my face dry. White Company towels, they are the best. It smells nice and clean. Okay, now I've got on my little list to use a retinol or an acid. Retinol is like the best product for anti-aging, but it is so confusing. Like, I find it confusing. I'm sure that everyone else finds it confusing. Sorry, I don't know why my skin has got a little bit red. But like, for example, this Jordan Samuel retinol treatment oil that I got recently, which is very nice. It says to add it as the last step in your routine, and you can like mix it in with a moisturizer. So I guess they're all a little bit different. Oh, let me show you this while I've got you as well. This is from Dr. Dennis Gross, and it's a little light that you use on spots. You press this button, it stays on for 2 minutes, and then it just beeps when it's ready to go off. And I've been trying it on spots, but I can't tell you yet what I think because I haven't used it for long enough. Let's try this one. It's from La Roche-Posay, a brand that I very much trust, and this is the Retinol B3 Serum. Always use an SPF the day after using a retinol. The retinols I use are quite gentle. If you're using a stronger one, then just try it like once, or like, and then work up to like 3 times a week. I'm just kind of using it on the outer parts of my face. I don't know, I used to always take it all over my face, but in Caroline's book, which I keep mentioning, she says just to put it like here. So that's what I'm doing. Next up, eye cream. Don't have any, not really using any. And then back in with the hyaluronic acid serum for that little boost of hydration. So I've just layered 2 serums. So in the morning I layer vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. In the evening I will layer something like a retinol, and then again a hyaluronic acid. Gonna give my face a spray with the Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator. And then I'm gonna finish with a moisturizer or an oil. I'm gonna use a moisturizer tonight. This is from Kate Somerville Delicate Recovery Cream. This is so gorgeous and thick and lovely and hydrating. So that is my evening skincare routine. Now I'm gonna head downstairs and make some dinner.